Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric, and I'm here with my 2-day post-op review or update. I'll be reviewing the post-op surgery process today. I was planning originally to just do a video 1 week post-op, but then I'm already the anesthesia really has fucked me up. So I wanted to do a video really just to kind of remember the process and everything now while it's still semi-fresh in my head. I do apologize for all of this. I haven't showered since the morning of surgery. I'm hoping to do that today. I'm not really feeling up to it. I haven't been feeling up to it before now. I'm also going to be sipping my water throughout because I have to get another 2 ounces in, hopefully, while I film. So yes, some stats, I guess. Sorry, also, I'm a little bit groggy still. The anesthesia is not 100% worn off. So if I'm a little slow or forget things, that's why. So some stats. Like I said, my name is Grace. I'm 27 years old, 5'8". My high weight was 356, and that was in May of this year. And then my weight day of surgery was 319 pounds. So my surgery was this past Tuesday, January 2nd, 2018. I had the surgery here in Seattle with Dr. Sung. I don't really get why people always talk about like their surgeons. I mean, my surgeon was great, but I don't know that one surgeon really, like the surgeon really makes a difference. I feel like the patient does. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about my surgeon much. So yeah, I had the surgery. My surgery was at 9:30. So, the day before it was all clear liquids. I stopped at 6:30 p.m. taking anything in by mouth. Did my Hybo cleanse, antibacterial wash, and then went to bed. Woke up the next morning at like 5:30, took another cleanse, antibacterial shower, and then headed off to the hospital. My sister drove me. I got there at about 6:30. My surgery was at 9:30, so some waiting around, then going and doing things, then waiting around some more. All pretty standard stuff. I knew I was going to have to pee in a cup for the pregnancy test that all menstruating women have to do. So I actually I had to pee, of course, like when I woke up, and I just sort of held it, which was not comfortable, but I was really worried I wouldn't be able to pee again because I hadn't had anything since 6:30, and I'm actually really glad I did because they didn't give me my IV until like we were going into surgery. So I don't think I would have been able to pee if I hadn't prepared for that. So just a little tip for you ladies out there. They are going to make you pee in a cup for a pregnancy test. And they can also do a blood test, but that takes a little bit longer, so that could have a delay. So I got changed into my gown, all of that. They gave me some medication, which was awful because they had to like take it out of the capsules and mix it with water, and the taste was just not good. Some anti-nausea stuff. They prescribed me some Amend, this is an anti-nausea medication, but my insurance wouldn't cover it. Apparently it's really expensive, so I just they just gave me some stuff there, and then some pain medication to help with like coming off of anesthesia. I met with the anesthesiologist, who was great. I have really small, hard to find veins. I've always had them. It's been a bitch my whole life. And apparently, like, the doctor was saying, like, that was one of the hardest part of my whole surgery was just trying to find a vein for the IV. So I've got, like, bruising. I don't know if you can see, like, bruising here. Can you see bruising here? That's not even where they actually did the IV here. Well, and they had one on my wrist here, but it's covered. So I was poked like 4 or 5 times. Yay. Anyways, they got the IV in. It was fine. I honestly don't really remember much about even being wheeled into the operating room. I met with my doctor beforehand, met with nurses, etc. And then the anesthesiologist said she was going to give me a little bit of something as we were wheeling, right before we wheeled in. That was going to make it, basically feel like I've had a few drinks. And I very vaguely remember being into the room. I think I remember them. Sorry. That's another thing you guys get to hear. I'm trying to work through the gas pain, which has been super fun. So sorry. That's just real life right now. Yeah, so I don't really remember much, honestly, about even going into the operating room, let alone anything else. I was hella knocked out. So the next thing I remember is being really, really drowsy and fucked up coming off of anesthesia in like that recovery room area, you know, where like everyone else is from surgery and you just see a bunch of people like lying around looking just stoned and not at their best. I remember there was pain like right in my chest area, and that's actually where the pain's really centralized, like right here. Like I haven't actually had much gas pain like in my shoulders or anywhere else. You know, people have it kind of manifest elsewhere. It's really just been right central on my chest. I remember I had some pain there, and the nurse kept being like, well, you just had surgery. I can't really get rid of all your pain. Thanks, lady. Mostly though, apparently the pain meds they kept giving me made me like forget to breathe. So like I was hooked up with all these monitors, and they kept having to like poke me and be like, remember to breathe, remember to breathe. And I just wanted to be like, shut up. I don't feel like breathing right now. Like breathing was just so much effort. But I also remember being kind of like freaked out that I wasn't breathing. Like, I knew I needed to breathe because you know, to live, and breathing was effort, and like I kept like drowsing off and like not wanting to breathe, and then freaking out that I kept forgetting to breathe. So I don't know how long that went on. It felt like a long time, but eventually they wheeled me over to my room. As soon as they started wheeling me, I got some nausea. I think because my eyes were closed, I wasn't like watching it, and so it just was like vertigo or something, which was just dry heaving because I had nothing in my stomach, my new baby stomach. Super uncomfortable, but it was whatever. And then I just kept my eyes open throughout, you know, the next journey to my room, and then I was fine. I still barely remember that. I remember it felt like it took forever. We went down this one point, this like sky bridge it must have been, and it was like white, and it felt very like, you know, on the road to heaven or something, going into the white light. So that was freaky. But anyways, I got to my room. It was a really nice room, really big. My own room and my own bathroom. There's like a little like window bench, little table next to my bed with all my stuff or anything I needed within reach. So I was there, and my sister came in at some point. Honestly, I barely remember that. I was so out of it. I remember my sister had to work that day, and so I was kind of nervous about if she would even still be able to be there when I woke up. I just didn't know how long it would take me to come out of recovery. And like a lot of the videos were like, my hospital made me watch these like pre-op videos. Were like, oh, it's good to have an advocate who can talk on your behalf. And I was nervous because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have that. But it was totally fine. I was so out of it. Had no energy. So I mostly just like slept that first day, night. I just remember feeling really just like shit, honestly. I don't tolerate pain well. I mean, and I kind of expected, like, I know a lot of sleepers have had, like, or even just regular weight loss surgery patients. Like, some people are like, oh, it was a breeze, basically. I knew I would not be one of those people. I'm never one of those people. Whenever it's like, oh, this is so great, it's like, that will not be me. I'm gonna be the hot mess, like, writhing on the floor in pain. So I knew that was gonna be me. But I just had no measurement of how it was gonna feel, just because I've never had surgery before, or major surgery, really. So I just had no clue what to expect. There's that pain. The anesthesia, I think, was probably the worst, and it still is, affecting me. I just feel groggy and sleepy. Like, I'm someone who, like, intelligence and, like, that's, like, a really big part of my personality. Like, I'm fat, and then, I'm smart. Those are my two things. So it's been hard I'm still fat, and I'm not very smart right now. I just haven't felt like myself. And I think that, you know, like I really want to get better. Like my body also just kind of feels messed up. And then my head is just like fuzzy and foggy. And I just remember like talking to the nurses, and I was so out of it. I just felt so out of it. So yeah, that's been the hardest part, is just feeling super out of it. I, you know, was walking around pretty quickly. The pain has come and gone. It hasn't been too bad. I think it's mostly gas pain, right now. There's been nausea. The nausea's been kind of rough when it's happened. I mean, and it's usually like goes away really quickly, but it's just like freaky. You know, I'm just like so paranoid that I'm like gonna fuck up my stomach by, you know, dry heaving or, you know, vomiting. Like I tried to take some liquid Tylenol last night, and my sleeve did not like it at all. It was like instantly. I was like, okay, so we're gonna try a different pain relieving mechanism. Sorry, this is so all over the place. Anyways, yeah, first night, my blood pressure was pretty elevated. I have a high-ish blood pressure, so it's never been high enough to like warrant medication, but it's just kind of like high-ish. But it was like higher than normal even. So they were a little concerned about that. I was taking blood pressure medication, and then the real concern was my heart rate was really elevated, and I have a pretty high resting heart rate right now. It's about 90-ish, but it was in like the 110s, even when I was like sleeping, and so it would get even more elevated when I was like walking around or if I moved at all. So they were kind of concerned, but my surgeon wasn't. I have a high resting heart rate. They're like, when you're in pain, that can just happen. They just told me to monitor it when I'm home. What else? I had that little spirometer thing. I have it with me, but I don't want to get it. And that was super fun. They want you to do it 10 times an hour. That is just insane. I do not have the energy to do that. And they're like 10 times an hour when you're awake. But like for the first, you know, little bit, I mean, I was, you know, sleeping every hour. You know, I'm like awake for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I'm asleep for 30, 45 minutes. So I'm like, I'm not awake for a full hour. So I'm just not going to do it 10 times at all. And it seemed to be fine. I mean, I was doing it because I, you know, was concerned. They kept telling me it would lower my heart rate, which I feel like they were just trying to like trick me into using it more. Because I don't know why that would lower my heart rate. But I'm also not a doctor, so who knows. So they gave me water that first day in these little 1-ounce cups. It went fine. I haven't had any problems with the water. The water's felt really good. I've really wanted the water kind of cold to room temperature. They also mixed me some broth that first night. I got like a sip and was like, don't want this. It didn't feel bad, but it was just way too salty. Like honestly, I just wanted water. That's all I wanted. The next day so their plan basically for me for the next 2 weeks is 2 ounces of protein shake every hour that I'm awake, and then 4 to 6 ounces at least of water every hour I'm awake. So the first day you're in the hospital, 1 day post-op, they want you to start drinking some protein shake to make sure you can tolerate it before they let you leave. Was not a fan. It was so sweet. So they just have muscle milk. I could barely choke it down. It was so sweet and chemically. It was just gross. I brought some Premier Proteins. I've been drinking one of those a day. Couldn't choke that down either. It was so sweet. Which is not something I ever thought I would say, like, oh, it's too sweet. I'm definitely got a sweet tooth, but it was too much for me. So I was a little concerned about that. But I went home. I have like a bunch of protein packets for this specific reason, and mixed some of the Cintrex nectar, the chocolate truffle, with some almond milk. That was great. That's been delightful. So I'm doing that. I think next I'm going to try, I have some of the Undri chicken soup protein soup. So I'm going to try that. It's not too salty. At least it wasn't post-op. Sorry, pre-op. So that might work. Give me a heat variety and a savory variety just to see how I tolerate it. Hopefully that goes well because I have like a whole tub of it. So yeah, I was there at one point, I think early in the morning of like that full day there, the, you know, 1 day post-op. There was a girl who I met the week before in the pre-op class that I took. And I knew she was getting the surgery the same day as me. And she was in the room next to me. She got her surgery like 2 hours before me. So I think, you know, I was right after her. And so we did a few laps together around the hospital, and it was really nice to just be able to talk to someone who had just gone through it. We were both like, wow, this is even worse than we thought it was going to be. We were both in that, dear God, what did I just do to myself phase? Her heart rate was also a bit elevated. So it was just nice to kind of be like, yeah, this might not, you know, this is maybe just a thing that happens. So yeah, it was good to just chat with her. And then, yeah, I came back to my room. That next day, my friend, my best friend, she's still visiting. You know, she lives across the country and she was visiting. She's leaving on Friday. And so she's like, hey, I'd love to be able to like see you and take care of you. So she offered to take me home from the hospital. So she came and hung out for a bit while I waited to get discharged. My surgeon came in, which was great. He was actually operating in a different, city. It's not too far away, but, we weren't sure if he was going to be able to like make it before I got discharged, but he came and talked to me. He was like, you know, I think the surgery is really going to help you. You had a big stomach. And I was like, yeah, I kind of figured I had a big stomach. But it's nice to have that confirmed by a medical professional. My stomach was very large and now it's not. And I was a little bit worried about my pre-op diet. So my nutritionist beforehand had told me 20 net carbs, and I confirmed net, that's fine. But then I got paranoid that she meant net just minus fiber and not the sugar alcohols. And I tried to do research on, do sugar alcohols affect your liver the same way sugar does? And I got a lot of stuff about how it affects your bloodstream, but not on the liver. So I did most of my pre-op diet with sugar alcohols, and then like maybe the last 4 days, no sugar alcohols at all. And I was concerned that my liver wouldn't shrink enough. But she said that the surgeon's assistant said that my liver had shrunk very nicely. It was nice and compact liver. So, yay. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be here right now doing this post-op if it hadn't shrunk enough, but it was just nice. That was kind of one of my concerns, that I hadn't, that I'd fucked up the pre-op diet, which would not have been fun. Sorry. So lovely. I feel just A+. So yeah, I was cleared to come home. It's kind of scary being home so soon. Like, you know, probably nothing's gonna happen, but you just never know. My friend was here. She stayed with me overnight, but she just left because she's actually flying home tomorrow from like where we grew up, which is 2 hours away. So she actually has to drive back. You know, I have a roommate. She'll be here later tonight. But she's also sick, and so she's sequestered herself in her room because she's like, I don't want to get you sick. And I was like, thank you, I appreciate that. And I live in a building. If I needed something, someone would, you know, I have a hospital that's literally 5 minutes away from me. So I'm not too worried about it. I've been crushing my goals today. So again, there's that 1 ounce of protein, or 2 ounces of protein every hour. Now that I found that protein shake that I like, it's been going really well. I've been getting in plenty of water. Water hasn't been an issue for me at all. I got these little containers. I got these at Walmart, which I never go to, but I was there with my mom, and I hate that they actually have some good stuff there. But these are great. These are 2 ounce little containers. They have a lid, which I found really nice because I've been dropping shit all over the place, my grogginess, and so it's been really nice having these. And my friend portioned out a ton of them for me, of water, because we have this big filter that's a little bit heavy, and so I'm sure it's probably fine. It's not too heavy for me to lift, but it was nice to have someone do it for me. So I just grabbed 4 of those an hour, and then I make, you know, grab one of the I usually make up some of the protein shake. The Syntrax one, my next hour is going to be the last of that chocolate one, and then I'll do the Undri chicken soup and see how that goes. I've been taking my my PPI, my protein pump inhibitor, that antacid, or, you know, that's been fine. They sent me home with Oxy to take as needed, and then said, you know, try to wean off that as soon as you can to Tylenol, and then anti-nausea, like that melts on your tongue, that's been helpful. And yeah, honestly, I feel like I've already forgotten stuff. I still feel so out of it. I'm honestly gonna go take a nap after this. This is like, woo, drained. And I'm just literally sitting here, talking to my phone. I'm gonna have to cut a lot of this out. And it's so, I'm sorry. This is so scattered. I meant to be like, day of surgery, day 1, day 2. But I think I just sort of talked about whatever I felt like it, whenever I felt like it. Not necessarily the most helpful, but c'est la vie. So, like I said, I'm gonna go take a nap. Maybe I'm gonna do a little bit of walking, try to clear some more of this gas pain. I'm gonna do you know, my plan is to do another video next week. Maybe next Tuesday. That's when that's my 1 week surge anniversary. Ugh, that word. My 1 week post-op video. My plan is I think I'll try to do them on Tuesdays, but I just don't know how realistic that is with work. Once work starts up, I might have to move to like a weekend, but vamos a ver. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thank you guys so much. I know a lot of you guys follow me on Instagram. I got a lot of well wishes the day of surgery and the day after, and it was really nice. I was nervous. I still feel nervous, you know, you're not out of the woods yet. And just people have been really encouraging and welcoming and offering, you know, advice, or if I have any questions, I can ask them, and that's just, it's really been nice. This is, you know, it's a big deal. It's a big thing that's happening. And I'm just sort of going into it full throttle, and it's really nice to know that there are people who have been there, who have been through this, who are willing, you know, to answer any questions I might have. Sorry if I've been shaking this table. I'm a hot mess right now, you guys. But apparently it gets better, and I'm just going to keep clinging to that thought. So, have a good one. Thanks, guys.